Hello dear friends, how are you? I hope you are all good today. In today's video, we are going to talk about the history of space travel timeline. It is the second part of this story. 1971. This saw the first use of the lunar rover, an electric vehicle with a top speed of 8 miles per hour to explore the moon on the 4th, 5th, and 6th Apollo missions. The rover took Boeing 17 months to design and develop. The first ever space station was launched in 1971, the Russian Salyut 1, and was launched from an unnamed rocket. 1973. In 1973, Mars 2, a two-part Russian probe, explored Mars. One part was to stay in orbit for the whole year, sending pictures back to Earth, and the other was to land and explore Mars' surface. It was destroyed when a parachute failed. 1977. The US launched their Voyager 1 deep space probe. Voyager 1 on February 17, 1998 became the most distant human-made object in space, after it passed the previous title holder Pioneer 10. 1981. From April 12, 1981 saw the idea of reusable spacecrafts. Prior to this, they were a one-hit wonder. The space shuttle was designed to lower costs and could be used up to 100 times. With 5 rocket motors, it reached 17,000 plus miles per hour. 6 were built and 2011 saw their last use. The first craft to start the space shuttle era was called Columbia. 1986. On January 28, 1986, Space Shuttle Challenger exploded due to a fuel system failure just after launch. All 7 astronauts were killed. After this tragedy, all shuttles were grounded for almost 3 years. In the same year, construction started on the Mir space station, the first consistently inhabited long-term space station. It was built in sections, taking 10 years, with each bait rocket launched and combined in orbit. In 2001, it was destroyed on its descent to Earth. The ISS, or International Space Station, also started construction in this year, designed for research and space exploration. The final major module of the ISS didn't arrive until 2010. 1990. The shuttle Discovery was launched to deploy the Hubble Space Telescope into Earth's orbit. The telescope is able to lock onto a target without moving to about the width of a human hair, seen a mile away, or more significantly, more than 7 out of thousandth of an arc second. Just like there are 60 minutes in an hour, there are 60 arc minutes in 1 degree and 60 arc seconds in a arc minute. 1991. In 1989, Helen Sharman won a competition to become the first British astronaut in space. She previously worked for Mars Bar. After 18 months of harsh training, she joined a Russian mission to the Mir space station. 1995. After all their problems, the US and Russia finally start working together, or at least in space terms they were. This year saw the US shuttle Atlantis dock at the Russian Mir space station. 1997. The first look at Mars occurred when Sojourner a US rover travels onto Mars to explore the planet's geology. 2000. In 2000, the first permanent crew inhabited the International Space Station ISS and have been there ever since. 2001. Dennis Tito spent around $20 million and had 900 hours of training to be the first space tourist for a ride in a Russian Soyuz spacecraft. He spent 1 week in orbit, and of this time he spent most visiting the ISS. This symbolized the hopes for space travel, for it to become a normal venture one day for everyone. 2004. On June 21, 2004, the first privately funded manned spaceflight happened with the craft Spaceship One. An adoption of this technology is being used by Virgin Galactic. company offering private tourist flights into space. Even though in 2014 it crashed during testing, flights are still happening. In this year, the European Space Agency launched their Rosetta probe, hoping to reach Comet 67P Kurimo-Gerasimenko. 2008. SpaceX, a private company that built a craft to replace the newly retired Space Shuttle, became the first to launch a privately funded liquid fueled rocket into orbit, the Falcon 1. These rockets are used to launch their Dragon capsule, a remote controlled capsule that takes supplies to the ISS. 2011. The US Messenger mission to Mercury, launched in 2004, made its journey successfully, traveling 48 million miles to begin its year-long orbit of the mysterious planet. Russia launched the largest space telescope to date, named SPECT-R, beating the Hubble. The device is built to study astronomical objects with an angular resolution of a few millionths of an arc second. The colossal telescope weight is 11,000 pounds. 2012. A major moment for commercial space travel started on May 22nd. SpaceX launched another Dragon C2 Plus, powered by their Falcon 9 rocket, to deliver a resupplying capsule to the ISS. The capsule was caught by the ISS robotic arm and docked for nearly 6 days while astronauts removed cargo and loaded that distant for Earth. A trip it made with no real complications. NASA's Curiosity rover, a piece of equipment the size of a car, landed on Mars on August 6th. It is the largest and most advanced rover ever to land on the red planet. And on 25th August, Voyager 1, launched in the late 70s, became the first man-made spacecraft to cross into interstellar space. 2014. The Rosetta probe, launched in 2004, finally reached Comet 67P Kurimo-Gerasimenko after a 4 billion mile journey. Whilst on the comet, the lander sent data and high-resolution images from the comet's surface back to Earth, including 490-foot cliffs and house-sized boulders. The Philae lander made a soft landing on November 12th after the previous 7 hours descent. Harpoons designed to attach to the comet failed, and the lander bounced twice before landing successfully. 2015. On March 6th, NASA's Dawn spacecraft entered an orbit around a dwarf planet Ceres, the largest object in the asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter. With a 590 miles kilometer diameter, it makes up a quarter of the mass of the belt. July 14 saw NASA's New Horizons spacecraft arrive at Pluto after traveling 9 years and 4.6 billion miles. It passes during its closest approach only 7,750 miles from the surface and took high-resolution photos of Pluto and Charon, the largest moon. Pluto is said to be about 50 miles larger than thought. 2020. On July 30, 2020, 11:50 UTC, NASA launched their Mars rover, which was the largest of 4 missions to Mars in 2020. Without a doubt, this mission plans to be the most fruitful, with the craft equipped with state-of-the-art modern technology and engineering capable of truly exploring the Martian land like never before. The Mars rover mission, among other things, is to see if the red planet has ever accommodated extraterrestrial life by exploring any signs of habitable conditions both in the past and present. Space travel has, for so many people, memorized them from a very young age, myself included, and as this list has shown, there is always something new to discover. We have barely scratched the surface, and yet every year we learn or launch something new with the dream of reaching some unknown bit of the universe. So this was our today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and we will see you in the next video. Till then, goodbye and take care of your loved ones.